So I want to have a discussion with everyone about the future of Dragon Ball Super and the Dragon Ball franchise, as coming up at the end of this month, Dragon Ball Super's time slot on Fuji TV will be replaced by the 50th anniversary anime of a show called Gigi Kintaro, which is celebrating, like I said, 50 years, so they're putting the show on the air now. And there's been a lot of talk in the past few days about what the future of Dragon Ball Super is, especially with the film coming out later on December the 14th, and now we know for certain that this is a Dragon Ball Super movie. Now, the other milestone that I am kind of thinking about right now as I say this is the fact that March 2018, specifically March 2nd, 2018, which was a couple of weeks ago, is when I celebrated my 3 years of starting this channel, Geekdom 101, on YouTube. Back then it was called the epitome of geekdom. And since I started the channel, it has grown way beyond what I expected. I wasn't expecting to ever get more than 10,000 subscribers, and as I record this video, we're approaching 500,000. So the thing about this channel and kind of my feelings on it is that I feel like I've developed a degree of trust with all of you. I think that a lot of you guys trust me and trust my credibility, and I really wanted that from the beginning. I wanted to be the guy that people knew would never lie to them. No, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I screw up. Sometimes I make mistakes, but I've never once intentionally lied to you, and I never will. I try to report the news as accurate as possible, and unfortunately, this week, there's been a lot of inaccuracies going on with certain, either clickbait websites or clickbait YouTubers who have been trying to take advantage of you. And I have always tried to build my content on being as legitimate as possible because unlike virtually anybody in the English-speaking fandom, there's a few of us. I have 24 years as a Dragon Ball fan. I started being a fan of Dragon Ball in 1994, and I have a lot of friends, not just from like websites like Kanzenshu and friends that I knew from back then that we were obviously all younger, but I feel like we have a grasp and an understanding of what's going to happen in the future, or what we think is going to happen in the future. And I think that we, based on the fact that we all talk, and not to mention I talk to certain people who know people at Funimation and Toei and whatnot, I can kind of give you sort of a different perspective of what's going on from somebody who's trying his best to get as much information as possible for all of you. And I've never withheld anything. So you know what I know, and I'm going to tell you what I know. So this video is two sections. The first section is going to be what we know for certain. So you're going to get all the facts here. The second section is going to be more speculatory. I'm going to speculate and tell you some of the discussions I've had with certain people who I'm friends with who are very intelligent long-term Dragon Ball fans, who are familiar with how it works in Japan, who know people in Japan, who are in the business, and kind of give you sort of what we've come up with, or what I've kind of predicted is going to happen for the future of Dragon Ball Super. So this is honestly going to be my prediction on the future, but also the facts. So here's the facts, okay? Dragon Ball Super is ending March 25th. That is not April Fool's. It's last episode's episode 131. Kintaro will replace it April 1st. I know it's a weird day, but Kintaro will be on the air that day. There's supposed to be some kind of ending, special ending in episode 131 that they've been promoting to us, the producers and director of the series. As of this recording, I don't know exactly what that is. There's all kinds of guesses everywhere. Will it be a cliffhanger? Will it be a movie trailer? We don't know. We just simply don't know. And anybody claiming to know more just is lying to you. There's not much else there. What we do know is that there's going to be a Dragon Ball Super theatrical movie coming out December the 14th in Japan. I don't know about dubs. I don't know about Funimation. I don't know when they're going to get it. Presumably not too far out, but we will get an English dub, obviously, but we don't know the date on that yet, okay? And we know that it's a Dragon Ball Super movie, and we know it takes place after the Tournament of Power, but we do not know if it takes place before the end of Z, where Goku goes to meet Oob, or if it takes place after the end of Z. We simply do not know that, and we really won't know until we get more information. Again, anybody telling you otherwise is lying to you. Now, will there be a Dragon Ball Super series coming back? Will Dragon Ball Super come back to television? that is, well, we're going to get to that in a minute. But as of right now, as of this video, which I'm recording on March 15th, the Ides of March, okay? March 15th, I'm recording this video. It'll go up today as well. There has not been an announcement for a Dragon Ball Super, I guess, return to television or a Dragon Ball return to television. So, if you read anything otherwise, you are being lied to. Dragon Ball Super will continue with the theatrical movie coming out in December. Now, your question is probably, what do you think is going to happen? Now, the thing about me is I try to make what I say. I'm very careful with my words, okay? And again, I'm not always right. I've never claimed to always be right. I joke around a lot, but I never have been, but I think because I've been in the fandom for so long and I've seen kind of how Toei works, I've seen how Japan works, I can give you a little bit of a different insight than a lot of YouTubers who are a lot younger than me who came around, in a different era. And there's nothing wrong with that, it's just that I have a different insight. So, you want to know, Danny, do you think Super's coming back? Well, as of right now, based upon the recent information we've gotten, there is a much higher chance of Dragon Ball Super returning to television than there was a week ago, with the fact that the Dragon Ball Super movie and the fact that there are several comments that have come out, including that of Toriyama saying that the manga will continue. Now, he did not specify if the manga is going to continue past the Tournament of Power. That's not what he said. He said it's going to be different. What that means, again, that remains to be seen. If someone tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. I have a whole checklist here of multiple information pieces that have been coming out and, different translations and whatnot. So we do know the manga's probably going to continue and may go beyond the Tournament of Power into what's going to happen in the movie or beyond that. Now, like I said before, I never blow smoke up your ass. Obviously, I would love if Super continued because I like Dragon Ball. Super's got issues, but even in spite of all of its problems and issues that it's had, I still enjoy watching it every week. And this is not me speaking as Geekdom 101, the businessman. This is me as a fan. It's still fun to watch, even though it's got problems. That's my honest opinion. Now, I'm going to tell you why I think it's going to come back, more so as a person who studied the business and who's kind of viewing what they're telling us and the clues they're giving us. Nothing I'm about to tell you is a guarantee. This is all speculation, okay? I already pointed out the whole manga thing. That's number one. Number two, Kitaro is an anniversary series. So the thing about Kitaro is it may not last more than a year. It may last less time, may last more time. If you look at the history of the different Kitaro animes, the episode counts are very, very, inconsistent. It could be short, it could be long. Either way, it's not something that really lasts a very, very long time like One Piece, Naruto, not one of those kind of shows, Dragon Ball. Also, the thing that people have to remember and understand is that Dragon Ball Super had a lot of production problems. Anime Age has outlined this in his videos. Dragon Ball Super from the beginning had production issues. Episode 5 was the big first sign that people kind of knew, okay, what's going on here? And, from there's been issues with the different writers and the animation. It's a whole bunch of stuff I'm not going to get into in this video, but there's been problems. So them stopping Dragon Ball Super allows them to kind of readjust and refocus and possibly come back to a new series or a Dragon Ball Super series next year. Now, one thing I'm going to clarify right now, very, very bluntly. If Super comes back in 2019, it's not going to be in January. That is not possible. The Dragon Ball hype machine is going to be promoting the movie for several weeks. The movie comes out December 14th. It's going to be in theaters for a minimum of 8 weeks. There is no way they're going to put out a Dragon Ball Super anime while the movie's still in theaters. It's just not what they do nowadays. Maybe with One Piece they do it, but not with Dragon Ball, especially when it's not on the air. Now, what is the most likely time that Super will return? It has to be either in April or in July of 2019. Maybe later, but that's the earliest it's going to come back. Some of you are probably wondering, okay, well, Danny, Geekdom, why do you pick those dates? Okay, I'll tell you why. Because in Japan, TV shows are segmented by cores. They're 12 to 13 episode chunks, okay? And it makes the most sense for new TV shows to begin during these kind of quarters, April, July, September, December. Those are the 4 quarters of the year, or January, depends, But when it comes to Super, coming back in April after being off for a year, I think makes a lot of sense, and there's another reason why I'm saying this. April of 2019 is the 30-year anniversary of Dragon Ball Z. It is the 30-year anniversary of the Dragon Ball Z show starting, and it is the 10-year anniversary of Dragon Ball Kai premiering in Japan. That to me sounds way too, what's the word? It seems too obvious it would come back there. 10-year, 30-year anniversary of DBZ, bring back Dragon Ball Super or a new Dragon Ball show that same month and celebrate Dragon Ball all over again, because another reason why it's probably going to come back in some form is because of the fact that Goku is one of the mascots for the 2020 Olympic Games, and it would just make sense if you have, Goku being sort of in people's minds for a little while before the Olympics actually begin the summer of 2020. So it all really makes sense to me. When I saw that the Dragon Ball movie coming out is a Dragon Ball Super movie, it's something that really struck me as, well, wait a minute. And then I saw some of the comments about how, the producer of Dragon Ball Super said that it seems like Toriyama's setting up even more things in the future based on this ending. And it just seems, and again, I've said this before, the Tournament of Power introduced so many new characters and concepts that I find it difficult to believe that there's not more story to be told. We've got 12 universes. We know some of the people from those universes. We've still got 4 universes unexplored. We've still got unfinished plot threads like the second Zeno, Beerus possibly rematching with Goku, which may actually happen in the movie for all I don't know. I have no idea. And things like that. So the idea of Super, going off the air for a year and coming back next year makes sense. But one thing I want to say that I've been saying from the beginning is it's going to depend on how well the movie does. If the movie tanks, Super probably won't come back. If the movie's successful, then it will come back. It's all going to depend on the movie, because whatever, plot threads don't get resolved in the series may get resolved in the movie, and then after that, they may come back and do another movie, or they may come back and restart the series again. It all depends on what the demand's going to be for Dragon Ball. So, that's what it's going to come down to. The movie has to succeed. And I think it will succeed, because Dragon Ball has been very successful in theaters with Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. So I think that with this film, it's not going to be much different. Now, another question you're probably wondering is, well, when Super comes back, are they going to retell this movie like with Battle of Gods and Resurrection F? When Super started, they retold those stories. My answer to that is I don't know, because I don't have an answer for you. We don't even know if Super's going to come back, so I can't give you that answer. I can tell you that I hope they don't, because I think that retelling Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, I feel, was a waste of time. I think that what they could do is maybe take the movie and cut it up into a 3-part episode, like chop it up, 30 minutes each or 4 episodes or whatever, maybe add a couple of extra scenes in it, or just show the movie as the, quote, season premiere, and then just get right into the new series. I think that makes more sense to do this go-around versus retelling the movie. I hope they don't do that again, but that's the facts, and that's the speculation. Will there be a new Dragon Ball Super series next year? As of right now, nothing's been announced. And until something gets announced, don't get your hopes up, okay? But I do believe that it will happen. I think it's going to happen. I could be wrong based on all the evidence that we have. One more thing I want to clarify before I close out this little discussion with y'all is some confusion about the movie and the villain. We don't know who the villain's going to be. It's not going to be Broly. Toriyama has gone on record. It's been documented so many times now that Toriyama had nothing to do with Broly at all. That's Takao Koyama's creation. I know there's going to be people out there who are going to say dumb shit like that. Toriyama didn't even come up with Kale. See what I'm saying? So it's going to be a new villain, a new character. Some are saying it's going to be Yamoshi or somebody from that time period. It's not going to be Frieza. In the press release or in the information we got from Toriyama stated it's going to be kind of, they're going to go back and revisit something that happened with the Saiyans and Frieza. So in other words, at some point in the film, it's either going to be a flashback to that era, like that time period, or it's going to be a character from that era that we never knew about appearing now. Maybe it's Frieza's long-lost cousin or something. I don't know. I'm just talking shit right now. But it's not going to be Frieza. He won't be the centerpiece of that movie, but he is going to be an integral part of the story, of the backstory behind that movie, whatever it is. And again, we don't know yet. I have my own ideas, but I'll be presenting that video to you probably next month, my idea for the Dragon Ball Super movie. So that's it. That's my little discussion with y'all. Again, thank you for your support for 3 years now, almost 500K. And like I said, there's always a trust between us that I think needs to remain strong throughout all this. I'm never going to lower myself to BSing you guys with crap theories and, crap I guess, lies or whatever. Like, if I come up with a theory, I'm going to think it through. You know what I mean? Before I actually produce the video. I'm not going to do that to y'all. That's not what we do here on the channel. But no matter what, Geekdom 101 will continue. I will have probably a video very soon announcing some new content coming to the channel. And, you know, kind of telling you what I'm going to be doing when Super's off the air. Because there's going to be tons of videos planned. I have series that I've been holding off on for literally years. Literally years. That I'm going to be able to finally get to, you know, and I'm very excited to bring that to you because there's so much Dragon Ball stuff that hasn't even been touched on yet that I think we need to get to now during this little break here. Plus, there's going to be, you know, like I said, a big series coming up, some announcements. It's going to be a very exciting time, so I'm very excited about that. Plus, to be honest with you guys, I have been producing a video every single day for 3 years almost. Almost every single day I put a video out, and I need to recharge my batteries a bit. Now, I've got videos coming out for the next, month or so that are already edited and ready to go. Good ones, too. It's just one of those things where it's going to feel good to kind of not stay up till 5 in the morning waiting for spoilers, you know what I mean? Because it will take a toll on your body. So just letting y'all know, this thing does take a toll, and it'll be good to kind of rest a little bit and kind of see where things go. So that's pretty much it. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. And I do think, once again, there's a very good chance Super comes back in April or July of next year. I say July because that's the anniversary of Super starting in 2015, 4-year anniversary, but also because it's the next core. Before that, though, January, February, March, not going to happen. The movie will be in theaters still. Makes sense, though, to put the movie out, then the new series, if the movie does great at the box office, which I think it will, especially with the animation coming up. Thank you. Love you guys. See you soon.